Okay, that's a first. I just made a 10-minute video and then realized that I didn't hit the start button. But I'm working this fence line here, clearing some of this dirt, and I thought, man, that is an excellent example of how this fencing system works. And I want to point out to you what's here. You can see these pipes that are on the other side of the fence. Those are the cross pieces, or they're the hand lines, we call them. Those go at a right angle or perpendicular to this fence. All right, this fence is east-west, and those irrigation pipes, the hand lines, go north-south. And they hook in to this right here. That's the root line, and that comes directly from the pump. So that's what you're looking at. And then you can see short posts with a single strand of electric wire. And it was really pronounced before because all 30 of them were right at that root line. And what they're doing is they're digging out roots from underneath this irrigation pipe. But it illustrates perfectly the distance that they give that single strand of electric fence. So I just thought that would be an interesting illustration of how that works and how effective it works. The reason I'm out here is because I saw all these little butts in the air this morning. I thought they're up to something. I thought maybe the electric fence had failed. Usually the reason why it fails is it gets covered with something, you know, a clod of hay or something like that, and that brings it down right into the dirt, and then it grounds it out. But when I came out, no, they hadn't. They're just doing that digging right there. You know, we've talked a lot about rooting and how it's bad in some situations. If you have a golf course, it's bad. But in a situation like this, I mean, these guys are making me money because they are taking all these roots out of here, and they're quackgrass roots. And this type of pig will actually make quality pork out of them junk roots. So, those junk roots, excuse me. But along this lines, I mean, I think I might be sending a message that, well, you don't really need to do anything more than put up a single strand of electric wire. People see the way we fence and they say, I'm just gonna do this the easy way and put up a single strand of electric wire. Well, you go ahead and do that. And you will be chasing pigs, because here's how it works. The pigs know that there is woven wire on the outside. And if they get on the inside, if they get over the electric, which does happen, it does happen, they'll get bumped through it or something like that. Or it'll be off and they'll get through it. I mean, it happens. I mean, with all the kids around, the kids want to come in for something, they'll shut the fencer off so they can come in. And imagine that, they forget to turn it back on. Pigs will get out. And once they get out, they realize, whoa, there's a whole world out there. And they really like the taste of the grass and the tulips and the garden and all that. So you don't want that to happen. Also, like in the airplane business, we call it belt and suspenders. It's like redundancy. I have two systems here that are going to contain these pigs. I have the woven wire on the outside, which is the secondary, and then the single strand of electric on the inside, which is pretty much the primary. That's the one I'm paying attention to the most. And it isn't a, you know, set it up and walk away. Hey, this is cool. Wonder if I got that. These guys are my friends. Those two guys, that's a pair right there, and they're living down at the pond, and that's a story in itself that I'm going to have to tell one of these days. But fencing, I use both. I use woven wire and electric. Now let's say that I was just doing something over on this side and I wanted to keep all the pigs over on this side. Yeah, I could throw up a temporary strand of electric. Saying I got low battery. I could throw up a temporary strand of electric, And, you know, if they breach it, no big deal, because there's no high value targets over on this side. But in this case, this is a produce field that I'm going to cut in half. Dave is going to have a lot of time and effort and money involved in this side. And these 30 pigs will be on this side for the summer, and it's a fertility deal. That's why I'm doing it. I want to build the fertility over here. Probably not going to plant anything. I'm just going to load a lot of stuff to these pigs so they will work that field over there. I'm going to put a lot of organic material in there that they can break down. It's a fertility operation. And then in the fall, right before harvest, they will come over here. I mean, their harvest. They'll be ready to go in the fall. They'll come over here and finish off Dave's garden and the pumpkin patch. So, but that's why I'm going to use both. Now, I don't recommend just using one strand of electric if you have things in your yard that you like. Not saying that they're going to run to the woods and become feral, but they might run to your neighbor's house and become onion eaters, you know. They might do that. So we're going to have a fencing class here, and you can find that at bakersgreenacres.com. Go on to Anyone Can Farm and see where the fencing class is. And we have a couple of stretches of fence here that we're going to do, and corner posts and all that stuff. But fencing is something that in this type of farming you really need to know how to do, and do properly. To hire somebody to come in and do fences, that's a good thing, but you know, it's expensive, and they might not always use the materials that you want them to use. The materials that we use are middle of the road, but the way we put them together, it's top of the line. You know, it's like that with a lot of things. So there you go. There's my little spiel on electric wire and fencing and how it can help you in your farm operation. This is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Anyone Can Farm.